Proverbs chapter 10, verse 23. And it reads, "It is a sport to a fool to do mischief, but a man of understanding have wisdom." And I'm going to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, right? And the basis of this lesson is about, the Boulè, okay? And the different subsidiaries that stem from the Boulè. You understand? Because, either some of our people haven't, known about the Boulès or have any understanding about them. And some of our people know about the Boulès and they believe like it's some type of exclusive, beautiful organization to join, right? But that's completely false, right? That's a left-hand side organization that was set up by Esau Edom, okay? The elite of Esau Edom, right? Particularly to use people, speaking of the black Boulè, to use people that come from our people to help keep our people destroyed. You understand? And we're gonna go all the way in on this because we don't hold back. True men of the Lord don't hold back. They just speak 100% truth. You understand? So let's read the scripture again. And when it comes to the Boulès, you got different factions that branch off from the Boulè. You know what I mean? Kappa Alpha, Psi Sigma, things of that nature, you know what I'm saying, or whatever the other ones may be. You can look it up for yourself, right? But these are pretty much wicked organizations, right? And they really don't do nothing for their people while giving off the illusion that they're some type of great people, right? In which they all sellouts, right? So Proverbs 10 and 23, it is a sport. Remember that word sport, to a fool. And that's what they are. They fools, right? Because they think the elite have deceived these individuals into believing they're the top of our people. That's what they've deceived them into thinking, right? They deceived them into thinking they're gonna live beautiful, great lives, right? But them people really in darkness, right? And they come out, but they put the illusion on our people like they're just living the life, and that's false, right? But it is a sport to a fool to do mischief, but a man of understanding have wisdom. So men of understanding, the Lord has blessed men of understanding and certain women to see right through all these things, right? And especially in these last days, right? So and I brought the scripture out before, but let's go get that word sport, right? Let's go get that word sport. Etymology of the word sport. Take pleasure, enjoy, or amuse oneself, right? So they take pleasure in doing the bidding of Esau Edom. You understand? And they're amused and enjoying themselves while doing it, right? But these are fools, right? So check this out. We're going to flip over here to Isaiah. I believe it's Isaiah 57. Hear this out, right? And I'm starting at verse 3, and it reads, "But draw near hither, ye sons of the sorceress." And that's what these Boulè, the Boulè do, all types of rituals, okay? So we all heard of sorcery, right? All types of witchcraft, false. They help start and spread the false narratives against our people, especially the men, okay? And especially dealing with the men of the Lord, they help to spread the false narratives about them too, right? Just for an example, they'll make it seem like these are inferior men. They'll make it seem like their seed line is inferior. You understand what I'm saying? Because you got to think about it. Well, I'll get to that later. But let's keep going. The seed of the adulterer and the whore. So here, a lot of these people in these organizations, like I spoke on it in one of my Facebook posts. They assist in defiling our women. And hey, look, we living in an idolatrous kingdom, okay? Where everybody chooses idols to worship. Dealing with basketball players, you know what I'm saying? A top basketball star player like LeBron, he shoot a ball in the hoop, and you praise and worship him, right? A football player, right? He run the ball for a touchdown for a 90-yard TD run, and you praise and worship him, right? An entertainer, a rapper, you praise and worship him, right? Because our people pick idols, okay? And you're just, and you know, these people, you know, not to go in on them, but it's like, what have they done for you? What have they done for your people? Nothing at all. But they're your idol. You understand what I'm saying? But nevertheless, when it comes to the Boulè and the different factions that stem from the Boulè, I told people they assist in certain things against our people, man, under Esau Edom, right? Esau Edom put them up to it. They didn't come up with the Boulè. They didn't come up with none of this. Esau Edom formed it and gave it to him. You understand? Esau Edom is the ruler, so he knows what to do. You understand? These niggas ain't learned shit, right? They present themselves as if they know so much, but they don't know shit. Guys like Dr. Umar Johnson, you know what I'm saying? I speak on him all the time because he's one of their top fake-ass activists, right? Touching on that. How the hell... See, you got to understand, a true activist that's for their people, a true civil rights leader and whatnot, whatever you want to call it, these are people that people would diligently, especially the leadership of the nation, would diligently seek to silence, right? You're not going to be propped up on the Breakfast Club, okay, and on all these top platforms, right? That's just all deception. They prop him up, make him look like he's some type of activist because, like I say, our people worship idols. So, and our people are used to being hopeless. So you view this person as, or these people as, they're going to take care of the business. They're going to handle the business for us. When the whole time they just keeping you docile and they're not really doing shit at all. You understand? They just set up to look a certain way and to sound a certain way. And through your idolatry, you view these people as some type of high-level people when really they're the beta males of our nation. You understand? They sold out willingly. Okay? They're the beta seed line of our nation. Right? So, the seed of the adulterer and the whore. So, right, get back into that. Now, you know, first of all, you have spiritual adultery, right? Where you, which is fornication, where, you know, you're committing adultery against the Most High, okay? You worshiping other gods, you worshiping idols, right? And then you have actual adultery and actual whoredom, right? So the Boulè, they aid and assist in different psychological operations against our women, okay? And even get hands-on, you know what I mean? To help defile our women sexually, mentally and sexually. And women, you know, women are natural-born followers, so they follow these idols, okay? And they end up defiling themselves. They didn't attach themselves to some shit, and they never knew what they was doing. So you got to be very careful as a woman. Right? Verse 4. Against whom do ye sport yourselves? And these people, the Boulè, okay, they sport themselves or take pleasure in themselves against their own people, secretly, covertly. You understand? Which ultimately means they're fighting against God. Right? And the Lord wasn't doing nothing about it for a while because, you know, go to Isaiah chapter 60, start at the top. You know, he hid themselves from his nation for a while. Right? So the Boulè, you know, they've been thinking they just been getting away with so much. But hey, man, look, you always gotta, I'm gonna get to that. But against whom make ye a wide mouth and draw out the tongue? Great. They speak. These idols speak. They make you believe in something vain. You understand? They grab your mind on the left-hand side. Are ye not children of transgression? Children of sin. Transgression is another word for sin. You understand? A seed of falsehood. That's exactly what they are. Tells you right there in the scriptures. Right? So these, let me read verse 5. Inflaming yourselves with idols under every green tree, slaying the children in the valleys under the cliffs of the rocks. So check this out. That's spiritual. Now, you know, I speak about child sacrifice. It's a mental thing and it can be a physical thing, right? You got actual child sacrifice, okay? But, you know, ultimately you sacrifice your own youth, your own children by destroying their minds. For an example, Dwayne Wade. How the, you know, not to go in on him or disrespect him, but I just got to keep it real. How can Dwayne Wade be an alpha male when he's failed his son? He got Dwayne Wade got his son out here talking about he's a woman. You understand? I mean, it's just right in your face, right? So he's failed his son. You know, now I don't know if D Wade is a part of any Boulè or anything, but I mean, you can pretty much take a great educated guess that Esau Edom put him up to that. That's a child sacrifice right there. Turn your son into a damn sodomite, okay? Which that's a homosexual in the scriptures. You don't see the word homosexual in the scriptures. You see sodomite. You understand? And here's another thing about for an example, when you got these high-level figures amongst our people, right? These idols amongst our people, and you may hear of them from time to time donating to certain organizations, right? Certain charities. Well, Esau Edom chooses those charities for them, okay? They can't really do nothing of themselves with that money. Like I tell y'all all the time, that ain't really their money. That's a slave master money, okay? They right in the slave master back pocket. They got to do what he tell them to do, right? They work directly for him. You understand? So think about it like this. Matter of fact, let me go back into the scriptures first. Proverbs chapter 10, right? Check this out. Proverbs 10 and 15. The rich man's wealth is his strong city. That's Esau Edom right there. You understand? He has all the resources. He has the wealth. See, there's a difference between wealth and riches. Esau has the wealth. You understand? He has the resources. You understand? The destruction of the poor is their poverty. So, who keeps our people in poverty? The rulers. The ruler. Because like I always say, it could all be so simple. Right? So let's make a couple of points. When you got these niggas, you know, these so-called rich niggas, like Jay-Z supposed to be a billionaire. Kanye West supposed to be a billionaire. Diddy at a time, right? And then you got many more supposed to be rich. Athletes, entertainers, artists, what have you. Actors, what have you. Right? So, when they donate to these charities, obviously you see, don't none of the hood get any of that. All these hoods across America don't get shit. What happens for the hood? Not a damn thing. They might build a goddamn YMCA or something. You know what I'm saying? That's not doing shit for the hood. So you mean to tell me you can't take all these rich ass niggas can't take 10% out of all they have and spread it directly to the hood through different leaders in the hood? Different true leaders that are connected to the hood. They won't do that because they can't do that. And think about it like this. 10% of $1 million is $100,000. You understand? So imagine all these different millionaires and billionaires giving their 10%. All the hoods across America will be completely taken care of. You understand? That's how an economy works. But they don't care about their people. They're against their people. And they've been completely and utterly deceived. Right? These people are nothing. And I'm just keeping it real. So look, verse 24. Now, this is where they're going to get caught up at. Proverbs 10 and 24. The fear of the wicked, it shall come upon him. So these people fear their slave master. You understand? They submit to the slave master with no problem at all. There is no resistance. You are complete fucking beta male. But the desire of the righteous shall be granted. So these are the times we're about to come into, man. You know, although there will be much tribulation. But our ultimate desire is the kingdom of heaven, right? The downfall of the wicked of our people, and ultimately the wicked Esau Edom and his joint hires, the other elites of the nations, right? That's our ultimate desire, right? So the fear of the wicked is gonna come upon the Boulè and all these different sellouts, man. Because like I said, man, Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, man. Never trust thine enemy. He gonna always backdoor you, man. You never come out clean, bro. You understand that? So I could keep going. Let me see if I want to get anything else. That might be it. I think I wanted to speak on something else. Let me see. I got Proverbs 10. Oh, yeah. Let me go over to Job. See, Spirit brought it back to remembrance. Now, Job 4 verse 7. And it reads, remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off? So that was Job letting you know, and you know, the men of the Lord are letting you know in these times, man, when you see certain things happen to these people who you've always idolized and thought they were some type of great people, even though you've never seen them do shit, understand that they weren't righteous. Okay, they were actually evil men. And then if you're a woman who, you know, who's attached yourself to one of these Boulès, what the fuck are you doing? That's all I'm gonna say. What the fuck are you doing? You have no idea, right? And that's all I'm gonna say about the women, right? Verse 8. Even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity, wrongdoing, evil, wickedness, and so wickedness reap the same. The reaping always comes, man. Wait for it. Verse 9. By the blast of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai they perish, and by the breath of his nostrils are they consumed. And that's just talking about, ultimately talking about judgment, man. All right? It's going to be great judgment in these last days. It's going to go out from on high, man. Mass judgment, right? Phases of judgment. You understand? I'm going to read verse 10. The roaring of the lion, and the voice of the fierce lion, and the teeth of the young lions are broken. Now, ultimately, you know what I'm saying? That's on the left, man. Like, you know, these people who you have thought to be so mighty, so strong, okay? They're going to be broken. You understand? That's not talking about on the right-hand side. That's on the left-hand side, right? But I believe I'm going to leave it there. Let me make sure I don't want to get nothing else, man. I did that. I got the Isaiah. Yeah, that's it. I'm going to leave it right there, and I'm going to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rokakwadash. Double honors to the true elder apostles who we learn the truth from, and peace, blessings, and salutations be unto the house of David, beginning with the 144,000 elect men, and extending out to the rest of the 1/3, every man, woman. You know what? And that's what I'm going to say, right? That's the top of our nation, the hopeful elect, okay? The house of David. You understand? The Boulè and all these sellouts, they the bottom of our nation. Point blank, period. But yeah, Lord